No offense, but if you still believe that your woman is going to be loyal to you regardless of what you do, you may want to check this video out. Okay, because what you don't know is that she's planning an exit whilst you're still building the empire, and she's not going to tell you because that's a contingency plan. Your parents are not going to tell you because they don't even know what's really happening inside the relationship. So automatically, the best person to tell you this is someone that's been able to look at the outside, look at multiple relationships, look at countless men go through this same process and tell you exactly the patterns you need to look out for. And in this video, I'm going to help you understand how to protect yourself from that nonsense, and most importantly, how to spot when you're leaking and it's something that you're causing or bringing on to yourself. Okay, so my name is Matt Dunn. I'm a men's consultant and I help men recalibrate, reframe and rebuild themselves. Okay, my aim really is to help all men understand what masculinity actually looks like, because I don't believe the past done us justice, and I don't think the current present is doing us any justice either, because both sides have some insights that we can learn from, but no one's really helped us understand how to navigate that properly. And this is what I want to do. I'm a married man. I've helped countless men through this specific process. I've written books. I'm currently an author on Amazon, and if you know how Amazon works, you know that they just don't take anyone. Most women will leave you long before they've packed their bags. Okay, and that is the brutal truth. So by the time you're trying to fight your way back into the relationship, you're trying to see if things can be worked out, there was a 2-month strategy that went ahead of this. They didn't just see you coming, they knew exactly how you were going to react. And the number one rule that puts you in this position is you've made yourself predictable. And the reason why you made yourself predictable is because instead of you leading through, she kept testing your leadership to see where the stability was. And unfortunately, she knew that you were going to consistently react to every problem she brought up to you. And that's what led her into understanding that as you are consistent, you're just consistent doing the wrong thing. And because of that very issue, she's now decided that, you know what, this guy is consistent at reacting. This guy is consistent at not showing that he's actually capable of leading me. So I can consistently believe that based on this pattern, I know exactly what my next steps look like. Best example is I was on a call with a client earlier on today, and he said to me, he done certain things that caused her to lose trust in him. And I asked him straight, did you do this before? And he's like, I did. And I said, okay. And of course, I cannot mention the client's name, but my point is this. If I can tell there was a pattern and I only spoke to you in 15 minutes, what do you think your partner that's been observing you, studying you, trying to figure you out has been doing this whole time? And I don't say this to cause a rift or cause problems. I'm just trying to help you understand here that if the best person to see your patterns are the people that have been affected by it. The best person to be able to describe your patterns, it's your partner. It's the person that's affected the most by it. Why? Because they've learned how to survive through it. They can see them coming. So even though you say things that I'm going to change, I'm going to transform my life, and this is all I'm going to do moving forward, what they see is, yeah. The patterns tell us different. And while you're busy building a future, they've built a survival instinct against what you've built. But most importantly, they've built a strategy that stops them from dealing with that crap. They're tired. And the best way to describe it, I don't think you can see it, but it's like you going to imagine this is a wall, okay? And you're supposed to get to, this is the destination. The destination is somewhere here. But this is what you keep doing. You walk in, you walk, and then you walk again, and you start fresh, and you walk again. And you get the gist, right? You are constantly stuck in that same loop where you get close, you make progress, and then bang, you crash again. And that's not because you're stupid. That's not because you're evil. That's not because you're malintentioned. No, it's because you're blind. You're blind to your patterns. And this is why you need a consultant to come in and show you this is where you're fucking up. Excuse my French, this is where you're messing up. I don't need to swear. My child is watching this, or she will be one day. So my point is this, right? You need to understand how to ensure that you're fully aware of your self-sabotaging antics. What is your shadow telling you? What have you what's the word I'm looking for? What have you suppressed? What have you tried to hide so well, right? That once it comes out, it's going to look messy, but it's also going to be real. Every single time you suppress, every single time you ignore the shame, you allow the shame to nurture itself because you judge yourself. You're feeding this monster until it becomes this thing that one day is going to be exploding and you're not going to see coming. And by the time you see it coming, it's going to be too late, and whatever you've built is going to be completely eradicated. This is why I say, if any guys I work with, be aware of things that you're ashamed of. Be aware of your shadow. Because if you don't contain that shadow will contain you. So I need you to understand that this starts off with a disconnection. Every argument you're trying to win instead of connecting, you're adding fuel to the fire. This is why your argument seems so draining. The time to connect has long gone. Every argument now is solely based on, can we keep quiet after this? You even gave up the idea of being able to build a stable connection after that, because you thought that as long as you keep winning your arguments, you're going to be just fine. We've been misinformed, but I need you to understand that the people prior to us done the best they could. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because you look at the current situation and think, well, how the fuck is that possible? They done the best they could. And the question is, if they done the best they could, did you? Because they didn't know about emotional intelligence, but did you? They didn't know about leadership not being order, but being presence. Did you? With great knowledge comes better results, but a lot more sacrifices. That's the truth. They didn't have AI. You do. They didn't have a men's consultant. You do. So the question is, are you doing the best you can to get out of this position? And it starts with a simple call. Am I cheap? No, and I never will be. This is the cheapest you're gonna get me for. Allow my videos to take off. Come on, are we even playing around? You think I don't enjoy spending time with my daughter or my wife? Are you kidding me? I have this all planned out. I was 3 steps ahead of you. I'm just waiting for you guys to catch up. This is the time. This is the time you guys should be bombarding me, because I promise you, one call is going to cost an arm and a leg by the time YouTube takes care of most of these things. And does it look like I'm stopping? I'm 536 videos at the moment, with this one being uploaded. I ain't stopping. I'm never going to stop. Like Franklin said, never.
Let me be very clear. I'll never give up. Never.
Understand that there's a separation, there's a disconnection, right? Between your energy and her energy. And every single time your focus shifts from being able to rekindle that connection. Because the problem is, a lot of us now think that in order for us to rebuild that connection, we need to keep the peace. No. Because if she doesn't feel your energy, she's not going to be connected. The key is you need to be aware of your energy and get her to connect that with hers. Things like happy wife, happy life are complete crap because of this, because you are suppressing your energy, my friend. You suppressing your energy doesn't help the narrative. So if this is why, even though you feel like you've resolved the problem isn't resolved, because she needed to feel that she's connected with you. Every single dilemma, problem, argument stems from disconnection. The moment the connection is established, most arguments become meaningless. And even if they need to be had, because the connection is stable, the communication can flow effectively. But instead, what do you guys do? You fix it with more effort, more gifts, explanations, more patience, and it's like you go around the very thing that needs to be dealt with, which is, hey, this is where I'm at and this is where you're at. I get it, we're disconnected. How can we connect? As the leader, you bring suggestions. You're like, okay, cool. This is the things that I suggest we can do. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. Let's get to the goal, because I want to connect with you. That is direction. That is leadership. Leadership is, hey, I'm talking. You are going to respect me. That's not leadership. That's fear at its minuscule level. Like you're trying to hide you're scared, and they can sense it. I want you to respect me. You think that makes you feel like a man? So she used to look at you with admiration, and this is where the heartbreak starts. She genuinely thought you were the guy. In Nigeria, we call him Oga or boss. She saw you and think, this is the man I am selecting out of every other man that's paying attention to me. But now she looks at you like you're a responsibility. She's fatigued, my friend. And until you recalibrate yourself, I need you to understand that this isn't personal. But the reason why I do what I do is because I know what it's like to deal with someone that's fatigued. And by the time you realize that it was you that was responsible for it, it's going to eat you alive. Listen, I'm all for blaming women, right? You want to blame women? No, they're too strong, they're too independent. Why do they need men? And we can do that all day, and that's fine. And there's plenty of channels that are going to support you doing that. Here, I want you to win. I want you to have a healthy dynamic. I want you to be able to look within yourself and see what the frick needs to be fixed, so that it never repeats itself again. That's what I want to do. So if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Get the fuck on. Close the video right now and go find some red pill shit. Just plenty of it. As to why women of today are what they never used to be. Let me tell you something, right? Off topic, and I get it. If things were working back in the day, they would still be the same. But if in everything else we've got to evolve, then I think we should evolve on that too. Because we look at this, how things used to be were so great. No, it wasn't. It freaking wasn't. I don't know about you, but I came from a broken home. I came from a home where there was no value alignment. I came from a home where I could dissect and tell them in 5 seconds, listen, this shit isn't working. Cut it off. That's where I came from. And then I grew up around people who were dodging and diving, trying to find solution to the very problem that was right in front of them. You were the problem. It's not them. It's not the culture. It's not the country you're in. It's you. It's you. You are the problem. You don't even know who you are. That's what I grew up to. That's what I was passed on. And at the age of 22, when I was faced with the reality of my ego was destroying me, I had to make a tough call and say something had to go, something had to die. And my ego died. Tough death. I was in tears. I was shattered. Because for so long I thought that being strong is what gave me strength. Not knowing that being strong is a state of mind. And me being a man allows me to be strong, allows me to be soft, allows me to be tender, allows me to be integral, allows me to be a leader, allows me to be a servant. As long as I'm still a man, I can do whatever. But I turned my identity into strength. So when it was time or unsuitable for me to be strong, I still kept that, because I was like, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not a man, I'm strong. And strong people stay strong all the time, right? Because that's your state of mind. Your identity is your strength. What happens when you need to blend in or adapt? You don't do that because that's not your identity. And that's how a lot of men are stuck till date. They equal men to strength, and when the strength isn't suitable, they feel like they're not suitable. You can be a man and be soft. You can be a man and be nurturing. You can be a man and be a present, emotional person that looks at whoever needs to look at with. But let me make this clear, by the way, because we get into this bubble where there's like this, it's like a two-sided thing. There's a tug of war. There's the weak guys and the strong guys. It's not such thing. You're both confused. The essence is in just being. Just freaking be, all right? Cool. So the scariest part is about this whole thing is when the woman disconnects, right? I need you to understand this is what happens, right? She stops desiring you biologically. Why? Because she doesn't feel safe. A woman's safety is something that you should never negotiate, because the moment you negotiate with it, you negotiate with her desire for you. It's like give or take. You can have it, just know that the exchange for having it is her desiring you. She will feel sorry for you, she will support you, but is she going to look at you like the guy she wants to deal with? No. Because you gave up your safety and took hers away. She doesn't see it as something that she can give and maintain. She can't give you safety while maintaining hers. That's not how women are wired biologically. Men, on the other hand, can do that because they are naturally designed to be able to sustain that space for not just themselves but others. If you give a woman who isn't desiring of honing masculine principles, right? She wants to be balanced, but not necessarily in the leadership role. She wants to be a follower. She wants to be someone that is guided, someone that's led. You give her the safety role. It's like you putting a kid in charge of the military when you know that they can excel in a completely different area. They're just unsuited for that role. There's better people, better suited for that role. And you put them in a role where you know that they're not sustained, they don't have the equipment to sustain you too. They're going to resent you for putting them in a position where you knew they were going to fail. And every single time they remind themselves that they were not able to do that, they're not going to blame themselves, they're going to blame you because you were responsible for putting them there in the first place, knowing full well they were never going to be able to do it to the full extent. Now, why do I say this? Because they are not wired to be safe. This is where a controversy, whatever you want to call it, it's natural. I need you to understand this is not personal. Women are wired differently from men. I don't care what anyone freaking says. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't make women less than men. It just means that we are wired differently, and that is okay. It's okay for people to be different. We don't have to be the same. And because of that, there's things that we excel at and there's things that we don't excel at. Now, a woman's ability to contain a man as well as themselves emotionally is not something that they were designed to do. Not from society and not from biology. There's literally nobody training women to say, oh, by the way, you must be able to contain men emotionally. No one so they're blindsided into doing that. And every single time, and the only reason why that happens, by the way, is because you did not build safety for yourself. Not because you were, not because of they're evil, they're not capable. No. When you fail to build safety for yourself as an adult, as a human being, and they have to step in and do that for you, oh yeah, the desire goes. So to protect the desire, protect your ability to keep yourself safe emotionally. I hope that's making sense. Because this isn't, you can argue all you want. This is biology. You've seen it everywhere else. This is why so many guys think, oh, the moment I show my emotions, they're not interested. It's not that. Because you can show your emotions as long as you're responsible for them. You are conscious of all them. You're aware of them. You're familiar with them. So you know how to navigate them. Because they don't know how to handle them because they've never seen it. So the number one reason why a woman will stop craving you is because you lack direction. I work with so many guys, and the first thing I can tell you within the 15 minutes of that conversation is your edge. Where's it gone? You're on this call, you're trying to figure out why she's gone cold and why she's hot. Where's your edge? Where's your ability to direct? You're asking me, what should I do? I'm like, I'm not even in your situation. You're in that relationship and you've been there for 15 years. You're asking me, that you just met me on YouTube, to tell you what to do. My job is to remind you that you have the answer. You've got the answer. And the answer is always direction. Where are you going? Does she know that? Does she know that you're going there regardless? Because if she doesn't, guess what? She's going to be looking for someone that does know where they're going. Is she wrong for doing that? I've got sisters, and I'll tell them any day, if the guy doesn't know where he's going, please find someone that does. There's no shame in doing that whatsoever. Some of us will say, oh, if she stays, she'll love me forever. Why would she do that? You see, as men, we are so, it's so quick. We're so quick to want people to cut us slack, but we at the same time we do this thing where we're the biggest critics. So there's this massive gap where it's like you want people to feel sorry for you for trying, but then you know you're not putting in the work to get the actual result. Direct yourself, and this is coming from a place of love. Because I'm still figuring out. But you see, what I need to hear is this: figure it the fuck out. Get direction. Because if not, the people behind you will suffer. You see, for years men are told that you were used. And I need you to understand something here. You can only be used when you're not respected. If you have direction, you know where you're going, you've built the ability to understand how to guide yourself and therefore guide others too, because you know that you understand the patience it took you to get to that stage where you're now following your footsteps. So you're able to give yourself the same grace that you needed in order for you to be able to help others guide themselves through that. This is why, listen, the only thing that qualifies me to do this is because I had to do it for myself. I was my first case study. Once I realized that and I continued to hone that, improve that, master that, it became piss easy to do it for others. Why? Because it was just about tweaks. Oh, this person, okay, cool. Yeah, that works. So you just need to focus on that pattern, removing that pattern. Okay, cool. That makes sense. And this is why within 2 weeks, I give people 90 days, but within 2 weeks, someone's come back to me and said, listen, I'm back with my wife. Oh, that's great. Never lose your direction again. Because I'm telling you, 90% of the times, a man that's driven, probably it's in his best shape. It's in his best mindset, in his best mind state, in his best everything. A man that's fully driven knows what to do, what not to do. what needs to be eradicated and what needs to be kept, what needs to be eliminated and what needs to be brought in, because he knows where he's going. You gotta be a hunter, man. And I'm telling you this because I've lived this, right? I've been the man who was confused, not knowing what to do, trying to figure this whole thing out. And I get it, no one's told us how to do it, and this is why I post so much content. I'm on TikTok every single day with at least a minimum of 3 videos. And the content I share is not what I want to share. I want to talk about quantum science. I want to talk about spirituality. I want to talk about crypto. I want to talk about this. I don't give a shit about this. But you do. I've done my work. I've done it. I've done the work. All this content I'm putting out there, it's not for me, it's for you. I've done the work. What am I learning from this? So stop reacting to emotion. Protect your standards, okay? And recalibrate yourself daily. Who are you on a daily basis? Remind yourself like your life depends on it. Don't even leave your bed until you set an intention for the day. God gave you authority over your life. Use it. God gave you the ability to look like him in this world. What does that mean to you? It doesn't mean that you've got the same hairstyle. No. You have the same capabilities that he has through him. So when you reclaim your grounded authority, she no longer feels like she needs to plan behind your back. Why? Because what she has in mind and what you're doing align. That's a connection. The disconnection only happens once she realizes that there's no way you're going to be able to reconnect. And once you understand that and you focus on connecting each time, being present authentically, not by neglecting yourself, but by loving yourself so well that you want the same person to experience the same love you have for yourself, that's when everything clicks. Now, if this video has added value to you, please subscribe. The channel is growing massively on TikTok, LinkedIn, all other platforms. Again, it's great. By the way, things messed up on Instagram. I had to start afresh, but I'm not mad at it because it's generally attracting the right people. Again, I've received so much more inquiries from the right people, and that's solely based on the fact, and that's even with their followers I've got now, which is crazy because I thought, hey, more followers, more credibility, but clearly that's not how it works. People need their problem solved, So please follow me on Instagram, and yeah, honestly, guys, really hope that this video has helped you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cool.